Yeah, let's go to the very beginning. The very beginning. So Anna and I, we got married in 2009. Just like every young couple, we had good jobs. I was on a way to a good career and just life was good. We found out that we're pregnant in August of 2013. And we're just all ecstatic and, just like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be a dad. She was at church and she started not feeling so good. She knew she was pregnant and then things got a little worse, so she just went there and they had to do ultrasound and, lo and behold, like, you're having twins. We hear 2 heartbeats. So that just like put me on a whole another excitement level. That was just like, I had the world at my hands.
And when we found out it's a boy and girl.
Yeah, that was Christmas of 2013. And January 2nd, she gets hospitalized. And it just went from like this excitement build up, a little bit of a freak out with her going to the hospital, and then twins, skyrockets, boy and girl, just to the moon. And then within a week, it was just...
So the doctor came and she said that I was already 3 centimeters dilated, that I was going into labor. If you deliver before 24 weeks, they don't save your child. And they gave us a choice, like, okay, do you guys want us to save the kids? Or do you want us to just wrap them in a blanket and let them just die?
But one of the male doctors, after they wheeled her away, he just said, just man to man, I hope that you and your wife are in a good relationship and that you at least had a chance to say goodbye.
So this doll was the size of Violetta when she was born. This doll is actually a little bit bigger. It fits right into our palm. Violetta was probably like up to here.
When Philip was born, he was 18 ounces.
And Violetta was 14 and a half ounces. Like a stick of butter.
Was heavier than her. Yeah. Somewhere around the 2-month mark after they were born. So still very much premature. She was in her 2 pounds portion, and that was one of the setbacks, one of the big setbacks that she had after she reached a healthy 2-pound mark and she was on her way. This hemorrhage actually took her back down to 2 pounds again. They think that that's when that hemorrhage started the cerebral palsy or affected.
And cerebral palsy it's pretty much brain damage. It can't be fixed. It's something you live with for the rest of your life. Her brain sends signals to her body that she has to be tight all the time. So her muscles, instead of like relaxed, they're like this, really tight all the time. So like walking for her is really painful because you're stretching the muscles. It's like having, when you have a muscle cramp. That's how it feels for her to walk or do any kind of stretches. She walks on her tippy toes because without stretching, she can't make her foot flat.
Sam.
Daddy. Daddy. Daddy.
Yay! А теперь по-английски. По-английски, Violetta.
Это по-английски?
По-английски можешь делать?
Будешь по-английски?
Why?
While she was telling the story, I was just having all these flashbacks. It's just like, man, we've went through quite a bit. A lot more than I thought I could ever endure.
Sometimes I ask Serge, I'm like, how did we survive all of this?
Hey, apple. Apple.
And I don't know, like I said before, God, I feel like God gave us supernatural patience. Honestly, as parents, our goal is to do everything we can right now so she can be independent.
Молимся. Слава Богу за эту пищу,
Ani.
And then it just came down to us realizing that, hey, the only way we could help her is implement exercises, implement routines that would help her keep her legs active, because the less active they are, muscle dystrophy starts setting in, and then she might not be able to walk ever again. And so Anna came up with a couple techniques.
But then I was like, hey, we have these great benches and it's perfect length for her. Let's try it. And the first time we did it, she was so scared. Her brothers were there. They were really like showing her, encouraging her. And as you saw today, she was pretty confident walking. You just have to be really persistent and constant. We found this physical therapy place, and the first visit we have with her, she's like, you know, she would be great for this surgery. It's very like non-traditional surgeries. There's not gonna be any scarring, nothing. And she's like, you know, think about it. I mean, we decided that we're not gonna decide anything. We wanna get an answer from God. Like, I was like, God, I want like an answer from you, like straight up, tell me. So we come to Sunday service. It was Rod who was preaching. He started talking, and he's like, I have a special sermon planned today. The name of the sermon is Don't Be Afraid, Have Faith. I'm like, what? What did I just hear? You know? And he's like, don't be afraid, just have faith. And I'm
It's like he was talking to us.
yeah. And I was like crying. Like, I was like, babe, honey, this is our answer, you know? This is like, it was like not Rod speaking to us, but like we heard it in like God's voice. Like, here's your answer. Go ahead, do it. I was so excited to get the answer from God. I'm like, we're doing it. You know, God's gonna provide everything.
From what I've learned, that every little step is a milestone for her and for us. We just learned to celebrate the little things. We actually have a healthy child to compare her to. I could see how people could so easily take for granted for their kid to just naturally do all these things, like crawl naturally, you know, at 9 months or at 7 months.
Hold a spoon.
Hold a spoon, you know.
Through this story, God already touched so many hearts, and He's saving our family for something big.
The whole reason why the fund happened was to allow people to help us with more than just saying, hey, we're here for you. It was for them to physically help out and say, hey, we want to participate in your daughter's healing process. And just from the bottom of my heart, I thank all the people that reached out